Good afternoon, everybody. This is Frank Salas. I go by the name The Talented Mr. Salas. I'm a man of many talents. I'm the founder of the Talent Tribe, where I serve those with talent and I transform those with talent and I transform them into thought leaders. So today we have a phenomenal guest, guys. This is a Summit Live speaker. For those of you guys who don't know what Summit Live is, it's where all the live streamers gather, and it's a who's who of everybody in the live stream game. Dr. Finch is a doctor at getting your social media on point. So she's going to lay some swag, some diamonds for you here. Dr. Finch, tell the fine folk a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am Dr. AIkyna Finch. I do education, motivation, and of course, social media. And today we're going to be talking about some great things to make your social media real world ready. So we're getting ready to just make it do what it do, y'all. So let's do it. Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So Dr. Finch, before we jump in here, how did you get started in social media?
Oh, interesting story. I started in 2008. I was a career counselor for soldiers transitioning out of the Army. And I noticed that there was such a huge market for people finding jobs via social media, via LinkedIn, Facebook, and things of that nature, and people were starting to move into that realm. So I decided to make a social media class for the soldiers so that they could start connecting with other employers and start really putting themselves out there in a positive light. And from there, it stemmed on to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the list goes on. So it started out with me just helping people who needed to network in a bigger way, and now I'm just hooked. What can I say?
I love it. And you have such a knack for it. I've heard you speak several times. I've seen all of your broadcasts. You and I have gone on different, summits and just really worked together. It's been definitely a pleasure and a blessing to see your career just skyrocket in such a quick time. I've only known you 10 months or so. So, it's been a short time, but our lives both have changed so much in the first time that we have met. So can you maybe tell people about your journey when it comes to live stream, social media, getting paid speaking gigs, and so on and so forth? What's that world like?
Oh my goodness. I always tell my audience that when you are on Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, all those things, you can make your brand the way you want it to be. You can put up these beautiful graphics and you can make this wonderful, wonderful content, and you can make everything glitter and sparkle like gold. But when you get on live streaming, things are real time. Things happen. Dogs bark, children cry, people knock on your door, all of that. And so that's where they really find the true you. And that is where you're going to really, truly put your content out there into the area. When I first started Periscope, prime example, I was probably at 1,200 followers just on my personal page. Oh my goodness, by the time January hit, I was at 5,000. I mean, it skyrocketed. And the thing is, that is where you can really put yourself out there and let them know what they're going to get. If you are a speaker, if you are a teacher, a trainer, if you have a service, put it on live stream and let them see how you truly interact, because you're letting them know what they're going to get before they book you. And if you're giving them hot nuggets for free 99, imagine what they're going to get when they pay you. Come on. So, you got to put that best foot forward. Now, I always tell my audience, don't sit up there and talk about Boo Boo and Nunu and them and on your social media and on your live streaming. No, we don't have time for that. You're going to give them value and information in turn for their time and their data, because both of those are very, very important, because they can't get their time back and they spend a whole lot of money on that data. But Verizon is loving me right now. I'm just saying. I love it. So, if they're giving you that time and that data, you need to give them that value and that information. You need to put it out there and let them know exactly what they're going to get. And people are going to come to you. They're going to ask you, well, I saw you on Periscope. I fell in love with your information. I fell in love with your style. I really like your content. I think you're really going to bring something to my people. You're going to really bring some value and some interest to me and to my audience. Please come speak. What is your fee? They will come to you. What is your number? You understand what I'm saying? Because they already know what they're going to get. You are already phenomenal. You are already spot on. So they're coming to you saying, I need more of that. Mm-hmm. And I know my audience needs more of that. And that was part of my journey on live streaming. I also like to do educational things. I like for the people to get some kind of learning. I want them to learn from each and every scope that I give them. I want them to come back better than they were the first time before they pushed, clicked my stream. That is very, very important too. It's not all about me. It's about thee. And so don't go in there talking about yourself all the time, because guess what? Yeah, you love you. I get that. But, people want to know how they're going to benefit from your information as well. So tailor it to them. Let them know what they're going to get. Let them know that they're going to have some value. Give them some nuggets that they can leave with, that they can take into action immediately after the broadcast. And that's what we're going to do today as well. So don't worry. I'm going to give you exactly what I'm talking about. And then finally, in the journey, you get to know more about you. You get to learn your speaking style. You get to learn your mannerisms. A lot of times people say, go ahead and videotape yourself and see what you do while you're in action. Well, you are in action every time you go on live stream. It's not fun and games. It is you putting your brand out there no matter what. They're learning the true you. They're learning the authentic you. And as long as you come on there authentic and real and strong, then you are going to build the audience that you're trying to build. And you're going to get the accreditation that you think you should have. So do those things most definitely. You see Frank doing his thing every day. He goes on there with a mission. We're going to make some money. How we going to make some money? Okay. And he tells you how we're going to make that money. And then at the end, he gives you a call to action. So you can go make that money. So, yeah. So, that is part of the whole live streaming game. Know your stream, know what you're about, let them know what you're about. And then make sure that you make it open so that they can come to you with whatever they need. Thank you, Frank.
I dig it. This is going to be such a fire broadcast today. I want to give a big shout out to our Talent Tribe superstars that are joining us. As you guys know, I have a tribe called the Talent Tribe, and this is part of my service to them. Dr. Finch has been very graceful with her time and very gracious with her time to allow us to get a lot of value from that. So I got to give a big shout out to Naveen Samuel out in the West Coast. We also have Leilani out. I don't know exactly where Leilani is. We also have Tracy Cooper. She's been supporting me since day one, and everybody knows Miss Cooper. We have an international guest on that is Jose Gless at Sally Neta's Hot Dog. I actually want to use him as a case study, and if he can jump on the Blab here in a bit, maybe you can give him some actionable items so he can leverage social media to promote his hot dog business. So he sells hot dogs off an island in Spain, and he's in his island, he's got a real big tourist business. And we're going to have him on in a little bit if he's got some time. Of course, I know it's at 3 o'clock here and about 9 o'clock there his time. We got Danielle Carroll, who is a huge supporter on the whole entire live stream community. Jennifer Bailey is out in the UK, and she is new to the Talent Tribe, and she's having or helping us with a Blab on course creation. We also have Sunshine Lady Annette out in Germany. She's in Munich. And, of course, Mr. Network Marketing, Mr. Jeremy Barnes out in Chicago. We've got also James out in San Antonio, Texas, and he's just getting started on his path. So I wanted to give a greeting to everybody out here. As you guys know, we really appreciate the support that you guys are catching us live. And if you guys are watching this on iTunes, Podcast Republic, Stitcher, SoundCloud, YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you throw us some like. And while we're getting started, Dr. Finch, where can people find you on social media?
Oh my goodness, they can find me everywhere on social media, and that's one of the tips that I'm going to share with everyone. Make sure when you start a new profile, when you see a new one come out, reserve your name, because you always want to be able to be consistent. I am consistently Drad Finch. So I always reserve my name, whether I'm going to use it or not right at the moment. I always reserve my name so that I can be consistent across all platforms and people can find me using only that one handle. And that way, no one is confused. They know exactly where to go and they know that they're going to get a little education, motivation, and social media from Dr. Finch.
Hey, I love it. I love it. All right, so let's go ahead and take Jose Gles out in Spain and leverage his hot dog business. So his hot dog business is a brick and mortar, and they sell hot dogs on the beach, and they've got a really big buff muscle dude eating hot dogs as their logo. He's just gets a lot of attention. Reviews are like crazy online. How can he leverage his reviews and his social media presence to get more people to, number one, come to his hot dog store, but number two, where the real big money is, he wants to start franchising. How can we help him franchise?
Oh, wow. Yes. Well, first off, are you on Instagram?
He is. He is on Instagram.
Okay, so as we know, Instagram will be the first step because why? You can tag your location and people can click right there on the location and there's a map to come directly to you. So that is the first step that you want to take with your social media. Then, of course, you want to put out those different maps and things on your Facebook and your Twitter links as well. Link that up to your hub. You want to also, make those beautiful graphics. And you want real life graphics. You want somebody eating that hot dog. You want to see some pictures of them hot dogs sizzling on the skewers, right? You want those hot dogs. You want to see a wonderful sign of the location so that they know what to see, because people are visual. They may not remember the street, but they're going to remember wherever the building is and what the building looks like. So you definitely need to put out a lot of visuals. People eat with their mind first before they eat with their mouth. So if they already feeling you in those pictures and they're feeling how yummy and delicious this thing is. Oh, okay. I see you coming in, Jose. Come on, let's do this. I'm ready. So, yes. I can't see him. Can you see him?
Yeah, we can see him. He's at his hot dog store, I think. Are you at your stand?
Right now we are live, We are I was listening to you.
Yeah, he's black on my side.
I decided to go in, okay? So, thanks, Frank, for asking
you need to go out?
About my brand and how can I develop this brand, is giving. I want to say that you are giving us, and personally to me, a great value, a great value. I meet you since the Ghost times, like 2 months ago. I just want to say that thanks for giving me the chance to learn, to share all your knowledge and with all you guys, it's so great. It's almost unbelievable to think that there are people right now at USA, in the middle of Europe, in Thailand, in Canary Islands right now, as we are, as you see. I don't know. I don't know. I just want to say thank you. And right now I'm having a bad time in a personal ways. But after I watched your video later on, I decided to keep fighting, and you know what I mean.
I do, man. I do. Are you back?
Right?
I think so.
I can hear you.
All right. I got a lot of noise happening.
Take my headphones, please, because there's a lot of noise.
I think she has her computer turned on, and I think she has her phone turned on at the same time, so she's hearing the feedback from that. So cool. So Jose, let's talk a little bit about your hot dog stand. So what's working right now for your hot dog stand?
Well, see, I have so many different strategies on social media. For example, I use Facebook page to build bridge with my customers, you know, especially in live stream, you know. I guess I was the first person in Spain that started to do live stream from the cooking, you know, inside of the heart, and it giving us a lot of feedback from our customer. Then by the other side, I will say that if you want to sell, you don't have to sell like trying to sell. You should sell with your content, you know, with the value of the content you have. I mean, for example, you can make a picture with a hot dog from the beach, and you are communicating and you are giving value to those to my brand. And I don't know how to explain it, but that's another thing very important for me. The content. I mean, to share the real life that we are living here every day, and being ourselves, just being ourselves. Right now, that it was before. Right now, with the live stream, they all have changed. I mean, it's so powerful. I mean, the first time that I did a live stream in my Facebook, when I saw it, I saw the number. It was like 5,000 people getting connected on doing what, you know, and watching me how do I do a hot dog, you know, and explaining to them and asking them, and that made me think a lot, because I tell you, with one photo or with one picture, you have if you the I don't know how to call the feedback is normal. With a video doing live stream, when you are asking to your audience, and everybody have more feedback, and and as long as it takes the time you are like getting in love with your audience, you know, going big and big and big. And before, when I was asking, before I was listening to you, AIkyna, I don't.
Yes, AIkyna.
Yes. When you were saying that that the people will stop to you at the street and tell you, "Hey, man." For example, the other day I went to take a coffee far away, you know, and the person who was serving me the coffee told me, "Hey, man, I love your videos," and I was like, "What?" I mean, this is not. I mean, sometimes I feel like Big Brother, you know. I mean, literally. I mean, a lot of experience like that in the street, you know. The people was like, "Hey, I saw you doing this kind of product, and I love it. I will go there to try one of those, you know." Or for example, and then you can do a lot of interactive things with the audience. I mean, I do hot dogs with all the audience, so I let the audience tell me. I allow them to tell me which topping we are going to use to do that hot dog, you know. So and it's fun, it's nice, and I don't know if you have questions about. No, I will ask.
Great. That's great for branding. I love that for branding. And I asked Dr. Finch, how can we take what you're doing, which is great? You're doing a great job of building your brand. How do we attract people that want to open up more hot dog stands in your franchise? So Dr. Finch, he has a phenomenal business. He's getting 5,000 views. People are recognizing him in his hometown, in his area. How does he grow? How does he make this a global corporation with the power of live stream?
Oh my goodness. It is so many different ways. First off, you can start targeting that audience. You can start putting franchising in the titles. You can start tailoring your lessons toward franchising. You can start inviting investors to come to your live streams. You need to start putting those out there. And better yet, you can also build some packages, media kits and things, and send to these investors as well, and let them know, hey, this is what you have, that this is my product, and you should come on board, because right here, here's the viewers, here's the business, here's the numbers, and you can see right here, you can see them coming in here, you can see them enjoying this product, you can see them taking it, ready to take this to the next level. So this is all for you right here on the table, right?
Right.
You do that. And so take the initiative. If you're, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Sure. I mean, I already, without doing nothing, I have more like 150 people who ask for franchise my brand in Spain, the main country. See, I start over there in a little garage. When I started, it was 2 meters, 2 square meters. I mean, I wasn't expecting all that you are seeing here, So, it's great. I started with, literally with nothing. I just open a 2 square meters garage and start to use social media to sell, to try to build my brand. And from the beginning, what I knew, it was that I knew that I have to build a brand. I didn't expect anything about. I just was working each day. What happened? The brand became so big that sometimes like, whoa, what should I really do? Because I live in an island, I don't live in the main country. I live in Canary Islands, and it's far away from the main country. We belong to Spain, so I know how to control my business inside the islands, But my business, it is not to give up in the little islands. For me, it's not a chance. And what I want to do is to take my brand, and if I have people from every places of the world that are asking me how do I do my products, so I don't know really how to start to get to the next level, because I wasn't expecting that at all.
Cool. So Dr. Finch, maybe, to wrap it up, what kind of things can we do to help them? I know you gave him a bunch of different stuff, but what actionable steps can we give Mr. Jose Gless to attract more franchise ease into his organization?
Oh, wow. So basically, I would set up your social media campaign and tailor it to franchises. I would make sure that they could see the numbers and see the potential and see the the global reach that this could be. You are a huge investment. You have grown from those 2 meters, square meters, as you said, and now you're a full business. You are basically blowing up the island. So now you are ready to go ahead and go on to Spain and beyond. And we are ready, so just let them see these numbers. You have the package. So go ahead and package this thing, start having some webinars as well. Invite them to the webinars, present the numbers, present the pictures, present the data, and say, okay, here it is. I'm basically handing you a diamond here. It's time for you to snatch it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. Totally agree. I have. It's like a dream. Sometimes I think that for my experience is like the little guy who is with the guitar in the street, and somebody be broadcast and put it on YouTube. You know, it's kind of like that, but in other subject. I mean, more in the fast food or I don't know. You know, because you know what happened that. Yeah, I have a good strategy, you know, in social media, but at the same time, I think that I built different lines of products of hot dogs, and that is a success too. I mean, if, for example, I'm gonna show you a little more. Hold on, this here, for example, you know.
Oh wow!
All these type are built from my head, you know. I mean, I build it. Yeah, there's people. Hola, ¿qué tal? Oye, ¿le pueden decir hola? ¿Qué tal? Saludos. ¿Qué tal? It's weird, isn't it? I mean, so what happened? That is powerful too, you know, for the strategy. You know, I mean, it is not only the social media work. Then you have to do a good product. You know, if you don't have your product, you won't. I mean, there must be a love story between your product and your customer. You know.
Agree.
And that's what happened.
Now, are you? Do you have a page on your website that is tailored to franchisees? You know, a page where, you know, because all your social media should lead to your hub, which is your website. And that link, when you're putting it out there, should go to that information page for your franchisees, for your producers, for, you know, everybody that you want to collaborate with. There should be a page just especially for them and their information. Do you have something like that you can?
I don't use website. I mean, I use social media. I start using social media. I mean, you can find me on Blab, Twitter, Instagram, Google Plus, Quora. I don't know, whole bunch. You know, I use a lot of all the paths. You know, because I mean, then it gives you the chance to get involved with different audience. I mean, when I use, I mean, you can use the content to start a dialogue with your customer. I mean, you can do filters. I mean, if I use the image of a skater with a hot dog, it will have a target than if I use an image with a man with her two children eating a hot dog, watching the beach, for example, you know. So, I mean, in each platform, you have a different target, but you can use the same content because finally, I mean, it's about that, you know.
Now, the only thing that I would want to bring to your attention is that you need to have your own hub. Now, what happens if LinkedIn, Twitter, all of them decide to close down one day? Does all your business stop too? No, you need to have your own hub so that they'll be able to still find you if one of those platforms was to go down. Right. That is why I asked you about your website, because all your social media needs to point them to the main hub, so that you can do business. Social is for social. That's how you get the momentum. I know. That's how you gain that presence. But the hub is where you start building a business. That's where you start making those connections. So if you do not have that hub, then you know you're missing a lot of people, because they're like, okay, I'm out here and I'm looking and I want to come to you, but I may want some more information. And that's where you can break it down to the grandest of the hot dogs, to the ingredients that you're using, why you're so special, why they need to come to your spot and not somebody else's spot. You can really build that up if you have a hub of your own, so to speak. Okay, if that makes sense. I
will, sure.
Yo, Jose, thanks a lot for jumping in, man. Really appreciate it. And we're definitely, if you have some more questions, stick around. We're gonna give some more value to everybody. But thanks a lot, man. And saludos de Spain.
Hasta luego. Chao, chao.
Hasta luego. So great, Dr. Finch. That was a great demonstration of value and kind of just showing how you can definitely work with any business and really showcasing her expertise. Let's go and get some real life applications or uses of social media. If somebody has a business and you just demonstrated whether they have a product, a service, a franchise, whatever they have to bring to the marketplace, social media is still social media. It still works a certain way. So what are some real world uses of social media for any business owner?
Okay, so first off, you need to know your platform and what the platform is built for. Each platform had a different use at the beginning. A lot of people try to turn them around, but they still have a main focus. So Twitter is real life, real time, and you only have 140 characters. So that means that you are building interest through links and through hashtags. So you need to make sure that you have 1 to 2 hot fire hashtags, and you have a link that's linking to where? Your hub. Okay. Facebook, you would put out a beautiful picture and you would put out some wonderful content. Let's not write an epilogue, but you can write a good amount of information in the box, and then that way you can tease people that are visual as well as auditory. Okay. Videos are great either way on Twitter or on Facebook. So you need to know how to use them and how to leverage them. Instagram, of course, was visual all the way. And with Instagram, you can have up to 30 hashtags. So you can definitely focus and niche the people, because on Instagram, people search hashtags as well as just the individual. So they may not know you, but they may be looking for a particular hashtag or thing like that. And they put it in there and boom, they find you. So you always want to make sure that you are tailoring and thinking like the consumer and putting in the hashtags that your consumer would put in, not the one you would put in, but the one your consumer puts in. That is part of knowing your audience. That is so important with your social media. And so when you are putting in these hashtags and when you are really making sure that your visuals are crisp and clean, you also can do what is called a microblog. That's where you can set it up and put the different lines in there and put your different points out there accordingly so that they can read just the key points that they need to read while they're looking at this beautiful picture. And the microblog will put the picture into perspective. So that is how you can really run that. And that way people are still getting information as well as seeing your lovely pictures. Okay. As far as Pinterest, people use that like a search engine. It's basically like a picture Google. Okay. So you do need to put some hashtags in there, but because why? They still search according to different speeds. Okay. So you are looking for a different item. So if you are selling wedding dresses, you better make sure that there's some hashtag wedding dresses in all the pictures that you're trying to get to. And do not put a picture on there without putting a link on there, because the whole point of Pinterest is for them to click the picture and be taken to the picture's image and interest. Okay. So you definitely want to make sure that picture has a link in it. It is so, so important. And where should the link go? Boom, to your hub. Instant SEO, y'all. Instant SEO. So definitely use that hub. We need to have a website, ladies and gentlemen, because one thing is for sure. If everybody decides to shut down their social media platforms today, will you lose your business? Will you lose your connections? No, because they will be connected to you on your website and through your email list if you've been working it the way you need to be working it. Okay. And how do they get on their mailing list? They get on your mailing list on a link through Twitter, through a link on Facebook, through a link on Instagram, through a link on Pinterest. Okay. So you made to make it super, 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 super duper easy to get on your mailing list and to get to your hub, because they want to connect with you, because they have seen the pictures, they have seen the videos, they have seen your content, they have seen the flavor. Now they want to get the experience. So you need to make it super hot for them to do this. Okay. Am I making sense? Are y'all feeling me with this? I see Frank in there, but y'all, I love some participation. So get with me. So, so
I love it.
yes. So, now we're on Pinterest and we've clicked the links. Make sure that you're using everything to the fullest. Each of these platforms has a way for you to do a call to action, whether it's a link, whether it's a saying, whether it's even just putting a link to your mailing list. Have a call to action. Do not let somebody leave your site and not have some interaction with you. That's the point of being social. Don't make it a one-way conversation. Make it a two-way conversation. We got to have some action happening. We got to have some connection. How does that feel? That's basically you putting out the table to the smorgasbord and you're not giving them any chairs for them to sit down. Right? So don't give them the smorgasbord and then don't let them have any way to get with you. How is that, right? You wouldn't do that. You would have the deck laid out. You'd have it with the plates. You'd have it with the cups, the glasses, the whole 9 yards, right? So that's the way your social media needs to be. Your content is the meal. Your pictures are the drinks. And your link is the silverware that you need to eat so you can get in there and get into the meat, to get into the content so that you can make those connections, so you can take it to the next level, so you can make that change, okay? Or better yet, dollar bills, y'all. However y'all okay. So that is what these real life applications are going to do. And people are like, oh, I just throw a picture up there. Yeah, and it looks like you just threw a picture up there. It sure does. Mm-hmm. People can tell. People can tell the difference. You think they don't try. Now, I'm not saying don't try. We need to try. Something out there is better than nothing. But we need to try to do it to the best of our ability. If we are a one-man show, it doesn't have to look like we're a one-man show. We could look like a $10 million team being a one-man show because our graphics are on point. Our branding is on point. Our content is on point. Our links are on point. Our call to actions are on point. And we can do that as a one-man show. How can we do that? Through things like Clot, KLOUT. How many of y'all know your Clot score? My Clot score right now is a 73. Once you get into the 1%, once you get into 70. So that is the main goal that you're trying to get into, the top 10% or 70 and above. That is your social influence score. That is showing how many people are affected by what you're doing on social media. So I suggest everybody go get a Clot score. Where's that score going to show up? They're going to show up on your Twitter. That little orange box lets me know if you have a Twitter, have a Clot account or not. Didn't know that, huh? Yes. No. So some people don't have an orange block. They don't have a Clot score. They don't have a Clot account. If they have a box, whether it says 14 or whether it says 99, I know they have a Clot account. And I know that I can go and give them some kudos for having a great social media presence. And go over there and give people who you like, give them some kudos. Let them know that you thought that they are doing a great job. Nothing wrong with that. That's part of the social media experience, real life, because guess what? People notice that because that comes right into where's the orange box again? It is right next to your name. You should see it looks like a little orange box right next between your name and your profile on your Twitter. But you can go to clot.com and sign up for your Clot score. Now, that is another way to engage. That is how I really blew up my Twitter. You could go to Clot and you could start and you can pick out the different areas that you find yourself to be skilled in, okay? And guess what happens? If you are really skilled in those areas via social media, it'll do a scan of all your social media. And if those areas start popping up, you will then get a purple box by the name, and it'll say expert. That means that you are in the top 10% of that area. And that means that people are really noticing you for that. You want to get as many purple boxes as possible next to your skills. And it lets you know who people are really looking at for you for. You might have thought you were, let's say you are a massage therapist, right? And you think that you're going to get them in meditation and a massage therapy and this. And you come to find out you get the expertise in music and scenery. Why? Because they love the scenery that you provide and they love the music that you're playing. So that's what they're giving you clocks for, you know, and that's something for you to know. If you are not getting them in the areas that you want them in, you need to start pushing more content to your social media in that area so you can get those social media scores. Okay, how many is anybody using Clot out here today? If y'all are, you know, let me know how that's working for you. Frank, you been using Clot?
I've never used Clot before. Never. You just blew my mind. You just gave me a golden nugget, and I'm going to jump in there.
Okay, and see, let me tell you what else you could do with Clot.com. It gives you stories that other people are doing in the community. It also tells you the heavy hitters in the community. And then that way you can follow those heavy hitters. So what? They can start following you back. You can start communicating. You can start building what? Collaborations with heavy hitters in your field. That is what you want to do. So use this to your capability. Use it to the fullest. Link all your social medias on there, and it will tell you exactly how much percentage that you're using your social media in the areas. Right now, my Twitter is my largest, followed by my Facebook, then my Instagram, and then my YouTube. You know, you can tell, it tells you all of this stuff. I know exactly where my stuff is coming from, how I'm putting it into the atmosphere, when I'm putting it out there, and it shows me how much engagement the people gave it as well. Come on, how that is an awesome tool, right? If you want to know about your social media, you need to know. And then guess what? Sometimes you lose your expert status. So what do? You go to that area and start pushing more articles out and information from other people in that area. Why do you do that? Because first off, it shows you're well-rounded. You are versed in your community, and then you're also willing to share other people's content. As we know that it needs to be an 80-20 rule, especially on Twitter and Pinterest. 80% other people, 20% you. Why? It shows you are in the community. It shows you're willing to share. It shows you as an expert in the field. 20% you. You still need to share your content. You still need to make your sales. You still need to make your presence. But, you know, we need to show ourselves well-rounded, and we need to show ourselves, you know, open to collaborations, and we need to show that we are actually in the community and being active. Okay.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Those are some great stuff. And we're about to wrap up here in just a little bit. If I'm somebody who maybe, you know, you and I meet people all the time who are like, I'm on social media, I've got this business, but I've got a full-time job and I do this on the side and I care and I do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's where you are at your journey, it's okay. But at some point, you've got to ask yourself very seriously, is this a job? Is this a business? Is this an empire? Or is this a really expensive hobby? And if you are not spending money on social media, you're still spending time on social media. And that's everyone's most expensive commodity right there is time. I would never get the time back, you know, that I spend with people or, you know, with anything. And even if I'm just watching people, like if you're listening to Dr. Finch and I right now and you are not going to take action, there's no purpose for you to listen any further. You might as well, you know, go hang out with your kids, call your mom, you know, just do something that you haven't done in a while, because this stuff is very actionable and we're giving you a lot of value here in a very short amount of time. And it's great. And Dr. Finch is a powerful speaker and she's able to motivate others. But after this, wherever you're listening to this live or you're listening to this on a treadmill or on the way to work, you got to think to yourself, You know, is this an expensive hobby or is this a business? Am I going to go down this path? Am I going to get flown around the country and around the world like Dr. Finch does to get paid speaking gigs and have people break her door down saying, when can I hire you? How much is your fee? What do you want that in cash? Do you want that in PayPal? Or do you want that in a wire transfer? Do you accept credit cards? You know, they're asking her these kinds of questions. So Dr. Finch, so for that one person who is on quote unquote social media and is really just spending a lot of their time, what can you give them right now to wrap up for an actionable step to start making these changes and incorporating social media in a very profitable and positive way to their bottom line?
Well, to wrap it up, first off, I would say automation is very important. Knowing your automation tools. You can take social media down to actually 1 day a week, truth be told. If you have put out the content, you have put out there exactly what you want, your pictures are aligned, you know exactly how you want to flow with it. And this is including your blogs. I mean, I have a tool called CoSchedule that will put my blogs on social media all the way a month out. And I can do that in 5 minutes right before I post the blog out there. So, you know your automation tools. Know what you're going to put into the atmosphere. Know the fact that you need to do everything in the speak of the platform. And what I mean by the speak of the platform is don't have something from Facebook go to Twitter and you done wrote 2 paragraphs and you only have 140 characters. So it looks disjointed, right? You don't want that. So do everything in the speak of the platform. That's why you would use a Hootsuite or a Page Moto or something like that who will formulate these things for you, you know, and then use the things like IFTTT and take your Instagram pictures and instead of making them links on your Twitter, make them a full picture on there and get those engagements. Pictures, inspirational pictures, inspirational quotes. Blow your Twitter insane. Use those things. Every day I put out a mighty quote and I get 10, 15 hits just off of that in the first hour that is out there, you know, and beyond. People love that. They want to see that you are putting something out there into the atmosphere that is going to help them. And that's going to lift them up and take them to the next level. So make sure that your content is uplifting, that it is tailored to your audience, and that it is actionable. You got to give them that call to action. So my call to action to y'all today is to go out there and start restructuring your content to fit the audience that you're trying to find. You then make sure that those graphics are on point. Make sure that your profile pictures are the same. Why? Because people are visual. And if they don't remember your name, just like they may not remember the talented Mr. Salas, but they remember that picture with him with that cigar in his hand, right? So they'll go and look for the picture of Frank with the cigar. So, and if his pictures are different, then they're like, is this him? Is this him? But if they're all the same, then that's that man I saw. So then that is the thing. You need to make sure your profile pictures are consistent. You need to make sure that your message is consistent, whether it's in any type of speak. They should still get the same feeling that they get from your Pinterest, than they get from your Instagram, that they get from your Twitter, that they get from your Facebook. They need to feel you. And that feeling should come across just like they were watching you on live stream. So that is what I would say to you. I hope I answered your question, Frank.
Oh, absolutely. And even so much more. We're going to definitely wrap up. I've got people asking questions left and right. You've got so much engagement. We've got about a baker's dozen here live, a little bit more actually. And we've got plenty of people that have been popping in and out. And of course, the replay viewers are definitely going to be loving this. I'm going to now, call in one of our superstars in the talent tribe. This is Danielle Carroll. She's going to jump in and ask you a few questions about her business.
All right.
And anybody else that wants to ask a question, just make sure you bring it down in the comments below.
Hey.
What up?
What up? Hey, Dr. Finch. Hey, Queen. How are you?
Hello, Queen. How are
I'm blessed.
you?
Thank you. I just wanted to piggyback off of what you were saying when you talked about automation and IFTT. Oh my gosh, if y'all don't know what that is, I'm gonna need y'all to get your life. Because a lot of people don't understand, when you post to Instagram, the majority of the time it just goes straight to a little link. Nobody pays attention to your pictures. But when you post that and then you post it to Twitter and it goes to a picture, people are like, oh, that's where your impressions are going to come in. And your impressions are so important because that's how people are going to see you. And people are like, well, you don't want to automate. No, you don't want to automate everything. If you're not on that platform, don't automate it, because people are going to be like, what? They can tell that it's fake. You know what I'm saying? That's why there are certain applications that are so dope because they're automated, but you can't tell because all it shows pictures. It doesn't, and it shows, and it'll even interact for you. I'm like, I love this. And I say, you know, and no, everything's not free, but it's worth it. I promise you, it's worth it. You know, and I think a lot of people don't understand that even if you do automate, you still have to interact. And that's what people fall short, is they'll automate everything and then not understand that you still gotta reply, you still gotta hurry up, you still gotta retweet other people. I've said it before, it's not just about you, and that's the biggest problem that people have when it comes to social media, is they're so focused on themselves, they don't understand that they're there to be of value to someone else. You are on this platform to connect with people and bring them value and show them how amazing that they can be, as well as promoting yourself. It's funny because like I met Dr. Finch in San Francisco as well, and now she's a client. You know, she's brought me a piece of this weekend event, all that kind of stuff, and it was literally just from us meeting one time, but us connecting on Periscope beforehand. You know what I mean? So it's not something that you can just do once. Like, oh, I'll meet this person once, and this is how the relationship's gonna build. You have to build on that. You have to go share people's scopes, share people's posts on Instagram, comment on what they say. That's why I love the Talent Tribe, because I'm like, oh my goodness, these comments are going crazy. And it's not just like a heart or whatever. It's like valuable thing. Like, you know, it's something like if somebody posts something inspirational, respond to that. Say thank you. Say you're right. Say I feel you on that. You know, you can even say repost. I'm gonna repost this. Let somebody know you're gonna share their content. People love that, and people will do the same for you if you do that. But when you sit back and just post all day and whatever and everything's about you, that's where the disconnect comes in. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. After this, I'm about to scope. It's because somebody made the crazy comment that it's social media. You should expect negativity and craziness. I'm confused by that situation. My timeline is full of amazing people that share great content, that are community workers, and that are artists and content builders. Like, I don't understand that concept. So for somebody to just be like, well, it's social media. Oh, what does that mean? That for social media to me means to be social internationally. That's what I think of social media. How am I going to build my brand internationally? I don't want to be local. I've never wanted to be local. I never grew up being local. I was traveling traveling through the Midwest when I was like 8 to 10 years old. What? What's this whole local situation? I don't understand that. But this whole thing of like, you know, it's social media, you know, just expect that. Maybe your circle expects that. Mine doesn't.
Right.
You know, we had an incident here yesterday, and like just the reaction to it, and you know, and the way that people were sharing this crazy negative just image of a dead body was blowing my mind. I heard about it. I didn't see it because my network doesn't share that kind of mess. But I heard them talking about it. They're talking about everybody else that's doing it, and I'm trying to understand where we've gotten to a point where that is okay. I'm trying to understand where we've gotten to a point that something like that can go viral for the fact that people are sharing it, as opposed to saying, oh my gosh, what can I do to help? How can I help the family? How can I help the people that were on that train that suffered through that? Nobody's thinking about that. There was an incident that happened on the train yesterday. People that were on that train are traumatized. I told my family, I was like, I was on the train behind that y'all could have been talking to me about the situation. You feel me? Like, this is a big thing. I need you people to understand how close this is to home. And this person had a family that suffered. She had a child, and y'all sitting there spreading their body around like it's nothing. This is not okay. That is not the way to go viral. So if y'all think that's not the way to go viral, don't share that crazy mess. Stop going on all these sites that are promoting it. Stop promoting World Star Hip Hop. That's why they say rich and famous, because y'all share it like crazy. When did we get to this point? I love what Dr. Finch says. Be inspiring. It was so funny. Like, I just thought of this. I'm like, wait a minute. Why don't I start putting the pictures of my models with why don't I combine what I do? When I first started Instagram, I was doing more inspirational stuff, and then people were like, you need to post your joy on Instagram, and I was like, oh yeah, I do that, I guess. But I hadn't gotten into it like that, so I'm thinking of it. Well, that's gonna be my more inspirational platform. So my thing is like, why don't I combine the two? Because all the models that I've worked with, every single one of them has a story. And so I can get to the point, I'll get to that point when I start telling their stories and what they've gone through, and this is what they've accomplished, and this is what I've seen from them. So is every single thing that you can ask anybody that knows me, I'm about uplifting people, not degrading them. Even if I get frustrated with someone, you will never see me go off about them on social media. I'll do it for a company that's disrespectful and rude and racist. I will do that, only to bring awareness and make them rethink what they did. But I won't do it to a business owner, because I know what that struggle is. I know how hard it is. I know what that tag means and what that could potentially do to their business. You know what I'm saying? But so many people are quick to just snap off and, oh, I got somebody's 5 minutes late. I'm gonna talk about them. I'm gonna tag them. You know what those tags do? That goes into Google. And now if somebody's gonna Google them, and something negative is gonna come up. People need to, be authentic. Absolutely. People need to understand this social media game is not just a game. This is real life. And that's what people forget. It's not just about what's going on that very second. This right here, this Blab we're talking about right now, this is going to be shared either on our podcast. This is going to be shared. People are going to replay this. No, yep. What are they talking about? Hi. What are we talking about? We're talking about inspiring and showing love and showing how you can be a boss on social media. That's what we're talking about.
That's right. Hey, Danielle.
Hi, Lel, Heyman, because you're new here. Oh, well, hi. Hello. Yes. So we talking about
Danielle,
how to be a boss.
We really appreciate you contributing. We're going to wrap up the podcast and keep it open for some more engagement, but we're going to politely bump you off and then seal up the podcast. Let Dr. Finch go up to do what she's got to do, and then we're going to open up for some more just engagement off the record. But really appreciate you jumping in to contribute here.
Absolutely, guys. Have a great day. Take care. God bless.
Yeah.
All right. See ya.
Bye, Queen.
Bye.
Cool. So Dr. Finch, you gave us so much value. I'm going to be obsessed with this clout thing. You gave it to us so quick. And for somebody like me, who's like in the game, you just rocked my world and saying, what's the fastest way for somebody like me who already has an audience, who already has reach, to leverage that powerful tool, clout?
Oh my goodness. You're going to go in there immediately. And all you have to do is first go in and connect your platforms. Give it like a day to surface everything. Then it will actually give you a chart of your clout score every day. It will give you exactly where your posts are landing.
Nice.
And it will tell you where you are expert in your fields. And if you don't like where you're expert at, or it's something that you're like, oh, I think I need to be more here, then that's where you know where you need to start focusing your, let's say you're going to be real estate, social media, automation, money, of course, golden nuggets. Let's say that, right? And let's say you're expert in only social media and automation, but not real estate. Now, everybody knows Frank is the real estate guru, right? So what is he going to do? He's going to start posting more things about real estate so that he can get that expert status in that. And then he knows that he needs to keep a good mixture of all three areas going on all three platforms, and it's going to tell him exactly, okay, you're posting more, you get more your engagement right here on Facebook right now, and versus last week you were more on Twitter, and then versus week before you were more on Instagram. And then eventually they're going to start moving to when you get to like a 30 something around in that area, that's when you know you're really hitting those nuggets and you're giving equal opportunity to all three of the major platforms. And Pinterest is on there as well. YouTube, you can even put your website on there, because if you are blogging and you are putting those blogs out there into social media and you have a RSS feed, yes, we need a RSS feed attached to that. That means that you're constantly functioning with your blog and your content, and you're putting it out there to the atmosphere. Then that way you can also put that clot in your website on your clot and get feed off of that as well. So you could check all your engagement that way, and it all comes out into that clot score. And the goal is to at least be at a 70. The top 10 people are at a 70 and above.
That is amazing. That's phenomenal. Dr. Finch, if we found so much value in this very brief podcast where you demonstrated live value to an international client right now, how can we get a hold of you? What's the next steps to slide in your DMs and be like, yo, Dr. Finch, I need your help in my life? How do we make that happen?
Well, you have two options. Either you can DM me at all of my lovely platforms at DRAD Finch, or you can go to AIkynaFinch.com and go to the contact and actually book your appointment right there on the screen.
That's amazing.
It's up to you.
That's amazing. Dr. Finch, it's a pleasure to be in the same circles as you. It's a pleasure to definitely, grow together in this industry. We've seen each other have a lot of successes, and every time we see each other, it's like we're just sharing stories of the accomplishments that we had. So you definitely make it just entertaining, fun. You definitely make it, just great. Thank you, by the way, yesterday for featuring me on the Summit Live account on the Instagram. That was a great way and a great example of Dr. Finch reaching out to somebody like myself and just highlighting me to her community and the community she's a part of. And then in return, I'm also highlighting Dr. Finch to the Talent Tribe and our community that we have here, because Dr. Finch is in the Talent Tribe. She's in the comment pod. She's rocking. She's rolling. So this is the Talent Tribe serving the Talent Tribe right now. I just want to say thank you so much. If you want to follow me or be part of any of the Talent Tribe stuff, go to facebook.com and search for the Facebook group Talent Tribe. It is a private Facebook group, or you can go to bit.ly/talented one. Again, that's where I serve those of you with talent and transform you into thought leaders by having service from wonderful people like Dr. Finch. Dr. Finch, thank you so much for serving us with your amazing swagger this afternoon.
It is my pleasure, Frank. Anytime you need me, you know I am there. And to shout out to the Talent Tribe. I adore each and every one of you. I love engaging with you. I want to make sure that y'all keep it hot, hot, hot. So if you ever need me, just let me know.
Boom.